Okay, so we're going to review the heel first.
Okay.
So you start healing with them, and I'll just kind of quiz you
Okay.
as you're going. Now, when you start the heel, what do you do to start the heel?
Jack heel.
Good.
That's
Okay.
right, and I didn't say it just now when I started walking with him. That was a trick question.
You always say the name and then heel. Just like every other command, you say their name and then heel. Now, where are his paws supposed to be when you're healing? Behind your heel.
Yeah.
All right. So behind your left heel
Yes.
in particular. Good. All right. Good. Okay. Now, if he crosses the back of your left heel, what are you supposed to do?
Slow down.
Good. One slow step, right?
Slow step, and then heel.
Let's go away. One of my other clients just explained it to me good. He said it's like you kind of pause in the middle of your step. I think that was the best way he explained it. I've been trying all different kinds of analogies. That's the best one so far. Like you step, but you kind of pause, wherever your foot happens to be. Good. And you'll know in that one pause whether or not, if he slows down with you when you pause, then what do you do if he slows down with you?
Oh, then it's a good boy.
And then you go back to your normal pace,
Walking.
right? So it's just one step. Good. And you tell him good boy. Now, if you slow down, you do one slow step, and he doesn't respond to that one slow step, then what do you do?
Then I have to say heel, and
You pop him backwards. And how long do you pop him backwards for?
until he heals.
Until he's back behind,
Back behind my left heel.
all the way back behind your left heel. Good. And then you say, good boy. Good. Okay.
He's a good boy.
Now, what if he goes too slow? Like he goes more, you speed up, right? You do like a fast step.
Yep.
And if he starts speeding up on your fast step, what do you do?
Then I slow down.
Yep, then you slow back down to normal. You don't keep going quick. And if he doesn't speed up on your quick step, then you take another quick step, and then he'll probably get corrected naturally by the leash. And when he gets corrected by the leash, what do we say?
Heel.
Say heel and good boy. Good. Now,
He goes behind me,
if he,
and I do that twist.
if he tries to switch from your left side to your right side, right? So if he tries to go behind your back to your right side, you sidestep right, right, to the right, and then if he doesn't start heading back, by the time he kind of hits the other side of your body, you also kind of twist with your hip, right? And that'll sort of correct him back to where he's supposed to be. And if he goes too far off to the left, goes wide, what do?
You step to the right.
Yep, you sidestep to the right. And if he returns to you before he hits the end of the leash,
Boy.
you say good boy. And
I give him a little thing and say heel. Ooh, check.
if he doesn't return, he hits the end of the leash, you say heel. And then he's back over there. Good. Free him up, give him a treat.
Okay. Free. Good boy.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Jackson.
Good. Okay. What we're going to do today is fine tune his heel.
Okay.
All right. We're going to do the right about turn, the left about turn, and the halt with him. So the first one, which is the easiest, is going to be the right about turn. So the right about turn is when we're healing with him, and we just turn around to the right and go, 180 degrees and go the other way. So it's the easiest one to do, but it could still cause some difficulties with the dogs. So I'll show you the main points that we got to do with it. Now, if he is if we're healing with him and he's in the correct spot for us behind us, if we turn around too quick to the right, he could potentially. Let me see for a second here. You think I'm just a plaything? We got to be serious here, Jack. If we're healing with him and he's on our left side, and we turn around too quick, he could potentially turn around really quick too and end up on the right side, which we don't want.
Okay.
So instead, what we want to do is when we heal with him, we'll do a lap here with him. Jack, heal. Heal, good boy, good. Is when he's over here, to set him up for success, what I want you to do is keep your eye on him, and then you're going to end up taking a back step with him. First, before you turn. So it's going to be smooth. It's going to be kind of like if you were catching a football or something and going the other way. You're going to keep your eyes on him, and I'm going to back step. Good boy. Praise him, and then go the other way. Yeah, good boy. Great. To set him up for success. Now, you're not going to repeat the word heal because he's not getting corrected. The only time you would repeat the word heal is if he just completely didn't pay attention to you turn and he naturally hit the end of the leash. At that moment, you would say heal. So watch me do a couple with these, and then you're gonna take over.
Okay.
Ready? Jack, heal, heal. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. Just watch what I do. Keep my eyes on him. Good boy. You can praise him through it. Good boy. So this is the first and easiest one to do. Good boy. That's a good job. Great. Good. Just to teach him to go smooth with you. You are such a good boy, Jack. And handsome. Good boy. Okay.
Jack, heel.
Good. So when you do turn around to the right, remember just keep your eyes on him and do a smooth pivot, which generally starts with a backward step. Good boy. There you go. Praise him. Good. So two key things really is, as long as you keep your eyes on them and you start kind of with a back step, you almost can't go wrong with it. The only way you go wrong with these is if you kind of turn too quick or don't look at him. Because watching him too, it'll help if he doesn't listen. It'll let you know when you're supposed to say heel when he hits the end of the leash. But also he'll kind of a lot of times naturally follow your face. Good boy. Good. Free him up. Give him a goodie. You're such a good boy, Jack. Jack, you are a very good boy. Oh, got a tick or something?
It's like, it might be a scab. I don't know. I thought he felt something last night and he started going at my hand. Oh, it must be, I think it's just a scab from a tick. Hold on, Jack, sit. Yeah, it's just a little scab that came off and stuff. Okay, you're good. Okay.
Good. So do a few more of those, then we're going to do the next turn.
Jack, heel. Good boy.
Good boy. Beautiful.
Good boy.
Now, he's not really messing up, but if he did, like I say, not pay attention, hit the end of the leash when you turned, at that moment you would just say heel.
Okay. Good boy.
Good.
Good boy. Good boy. ready for them. I'm waiting for you to do that. Oh boy!
Good. Okay, good. Free him up.
Okay. Free.
Good boy.
Good boy.
You good beast. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to do, much harder, is the left about turns.
Okay.
Now, the left about turns is where we want to turn 180 degrees, but it's going to be to the left.
So you're working into them.
So yeah, he's going to have to spin around you and adjust to you. So all this is going to teach him how to walk nice with you and how to adjust himself to your predictable body movements. You know,
Okay.
so we want to be very predictable with him. So when we do these, what we want is when we turn, we want him to kind of come around with us.
Okay.
So the way that I do this, it's kind of a 3-step. It's either a 3 or 4-step thing. It's whatever way is easier to remember.
Okay.
But actually, I call it a 3-step thing. The first step that you're going to do is going to be before you make the turn, you're going to move down your left hand.
Okay.
I actually do this the same time as I'm planting my right foot forward.
Okay.
All right. So the first move is left hand, even though the right foot is going forward. So it's left hand, then it's going to be left leg. You're going to cut them off with your left leg, and then you're going to come all the way back around with your right leg. So it's he's like, what the heck is going on here?
He's so fresh.
It's just arm over there. That'll just stop you from doing whatever you're going to do, Mike. All right, so it's
You gotta earn your treats.
So it's left hand, left leg, right leg.
Okay.
But as we do the left leg, your right leg is actually planted.
Okay.
We're doing that because the next step is the left leg that cuts off, and we want our right foot forward enough so it's easy to turn around 180 degrees. You don't want to do left hand and then kind of scoop all the way around with your left leg and do this unnatural thing. I'm going to walk around with them a few times and do it, and I'll say what I'm doing. It's going to be a little sloppy because I can't do it as quick when I'm saying it, but you'll kind of get the idea. All right. So watch what I do here. Jack heel. Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah, stand right.
So we're moving. I'll probably do the first one. I think this place stands probably right there on that side. In that corner. Okay. Good boy. So where my ain't going anywhere. Yeah. Good boy. You ain't going anywhere. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, it's gonna be heel. And always make sure he's in the correct heel position first before you even attempt one, or else you'll just trip all over him.
Okay.
Good boy. Okay, so it's gonna be left hand, left leg, right leg.
Okay.
Go the other way. Good boy. I'll do it again. Good boy. So it's gonna be left hand, left leg, right leg. Good boy. What's a good boy? Isn't that fun? Good boy. You want to do that again? You want to do that again? At some point, should I train you to not jump on people? All right?
Yeah, that would be a good.
Or
Or jump up and eat food. The other day he ate half a loaf of bread. Yesterday he ate the rest of a cake that was left on the counter. Oh yeah.
Oh boy, that explains why you look a little meatier every time you come.
And I've been cutting back his food.
You look like a big eggplant.
Yeah, when we're not home, he sneaks it.
Good boy. Jack heel. Good boy. So this time it's going to be, I'm going to do left hand, left leg, right leg. I'm not going to say it this time. Just watch it. All right. Good heel. Good boy. Don't do one unless he's in the right position. Heel. Good boy. You good boy. So. There we go. It's going to be left hand, left leg, right leg. Good boy. Good boy. These are hard. These are hard for me to do. once the dog kind of gets it, they start kind of pivoting real smooth.
They watch, yeah.
You good boy. You want to be real predictable to them. Over here. Good boy. He's kind of getting out of the way of your legs. The reason why we put the left hand down here is because it only gives them one option to get away from your legs, which is to go behind you.
Okay.
If you don't put the left hand there, they have the option of going wide out of your way, and you just get tangled around in the leash. Heel. Good boy. Boy. You're so smart. You're so fun to train. Good boy. Yep. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Let Mommy do it now. Free.
Okay. Time to try this. Jack, heel. I can do this.
Left hand, left leg.
And then I didn't put my foot in front of him too much. Good boy.
I mean, that wasn't bad. You didn't do it exactly. You kind of pivoted on your left leg.
More than, yeah.
If you kind of cut them off with your left leg more,
Okay.
you plant that right leg as you slide down your left hand, and then you really if you come across with that left leg more, see, it gets them to start pivoting.
Okay.
That was good.
Boy. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. See, so I go behind me. I don't know. This is all confusing. You make it look easy. Heel.
You know, it's a good way to practice is before trying to do the complete turnaround, is when you get to one of these corners where you're making the left, just do left hand as you plant your right leg, and then come 90 degrees across with the left leg as you make your left turns. And don't worry about the final step.
Oh, okay.
So just go left hand, left leg. That's that.
Okay.
So yeah. So wait. Don't do a 180 degree turn.
Oh, so don't do 180.
Yeah. You just did one.
Good boy.
Before one.
I think I'm confusing him now. You're being a good boy. I think you're doing a better job than me, Jack. Huh? Huh?
So let's see. Left hand, left leg, right leg. Good.
All right, good boy.
That was pretty good. Good. Free him up. Give him a goodie.
Free.
Good.
Boy.
Very good, Liza.
Okay, we're going to try it again. All right, heel.
Say his name first, then heel.
Okay. Good boy.
Good.
I got to do it like slow motion.
Yeah, that's
Hey.
fine.
Wanna check? Good boy. Good boy.
Good. Very pretty.
Boy. Okay. Good boy. Boy, Jack. Good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Good.
Dizzy.
Good. Free him up. Give him a goodie.
Good boy.
So don't free him up unless he's in the heel position when you are
Okay.
healing, because that's kind of like him breaking a sit and then freeing him.
Okay.
So make sure.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Good point. You're slick, Jack. You're slick.
Okay. Now, do you think you can mix those two up, the right turns and the left turns?
Maybe.
All right. Just do the best that you can.
All right, Jack, heel. All right, we'll try. Good
Doing it better than me.
Oh boy, Jack.
Oh, good. Free him up. Give him goody.
Hey.
When he's behind you. Good. You little boy, Jack. Good boy. All right. Okay, so that was very good. Important point when you're practicing these at home, just like everything else, but like to stress it, is these you would not want to practice these right now, like in the middle of distractions. Like just like in here, it's a classroom setting. At this stage, we're going into phase 3 very, very soon. I mean, really, I think we could start phase 3 next week with him. If you practice this strong all week, phase 3 is where we practice with any kind of distractions. Because right now, you're just teaching him the rules. And the way we're using the pinch collar, it's just not motivational. You'd have to be too rough with him if you were like out in the middle of distractions to expect him to really do it. So nice, easy environment for him where you could concentrate. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do with him is we're going to do the halts with him. So the halts are when if we are healing with him and we happen to actually completely stop, we want him to be in the habit of sitting nice and parallel with his paws ideally lined just behind your left heel. What that does is it puts us in the ideal position if we're greeting someone, if we're crossing a street, we're stopping and letting someone walk in front of us. It makes it clear to him that we're still in the lead when he's positioned behind us. And it helps him to see our vibes, see that we're okay with situations, and maintain taking direction from us. If he's still close enough where you have control over him, you could pet him, all that kind of stuff. So there's a few. There's 3 steps to us really, doing the halt. And, all right, I'm on the board quick. Oh, Jack, you got gas today, Jack?
Jack, down. No, down. Good boy.
So, the first step in the halts that we're going to do is we're actually, when we do come to a halt, we are going to tell him, we will tell him to sit. And we're also going to step 1. We're going to tell him to sit and also give him leash help. We're going to put him in the sit. All right. Now, this is the way you're probably going to practice for at least the first couple of days with him, depending on how much practice you get. That's mostly how we're going to do it today. But then the next step would be when we come to a halt, we're just going to tell him sit to see if he sits, and we're not going to help him with the leash. The time to move on to step 2 is when you notice you're kind of coming to a halt and you're going to be saying sit and helping him, and it seems like you'll be able to tell you probably wouldn't have to really correct him. So he lets you know when he's anticipating to that point. Because this is something we want to be happen automatic. We stop saying the word sit when you see we stop saying the word sit, that's right, say nothing. When you see you're coming to a halt and you can kind of predict
He's already
that he's anticipating it. And also, you know what? We're going to give him a treat. We're going to give him a treat every time since he's learning. After he actually does, do it. And especially on the first step. Okay. So I'll show you how to do these. These are a little tricky, but they're not that bad, really. Okay. Okay. So.
Now, should I say his name when I say sit, or just sit?
Just sit. There's going to be 3 times in the training method, where you're not really going to say his name
Okay.
before you give him the command.
Okay.
And that's going to be when we're teaching him the halt and the sit, when we tell him the down in the place, did you place it in there? And when he sits on the come. And that's because all of those are actually part of a command. Those are part of the command. Those are things that we want him to do automatically.
Okay.
So we don't say his name before those, because you already have his attention should already be within the command. He should be in tune with him.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is when we do the place where we do want him to sit when we stop is right about here.
Okay.
We want his toenails to be basically just in line with the back of your left heel. Of course, parallel to you on the side.
Okay.
This would be like a textbook sit.
Okay.
Him nice and parallel when he stops walking with us.
Okay.
Now what we're going to do to set him up for success is while you're heeling with him, you're going to heel around, and then when you're going to make the halt, don't stop suddenly, because that could throw them off completely, and they're just going to naturally miss the mark. Or don't scuff your feet or anything like that to give them a warning. Instead, just naturally kind of take a slow step right before you do it. That kind of gives them a little warning that you might stop.
Okay.
And then, as the same exact time your left foot is coming together with your right foot, I want you to say sit. Also at the same time, the easiest way to do it to start off, if they're not having any issues, is take that left hand that you have gently on there, in case he goes ahead of you, and kind of position it completely right above him, and just gently flick up to kind of help him into the sit.
Okay.
You don't want to correct it on an angle, because it might twist him.
Okay.
We're doing it like this. It's not, like I say, this is more like a teaching correction. I don't even really consider it a real correction, because you're doing it so gentle. You're actually putting them in a straight sit, because naturally if you stop and say sit, most dogs will turn around and face you, because that's how they're used to doing it to get the treats. So we're showing them what's expected of them. So let me try a couple with them. Jack heel, good boy. Who's a good boy? So I'm walking, and now as I make my last step, right here, I'm going to say sit at the same time. Sit. And put him in sit. Good boy. I see he's nice and parallel to me. His paws are aligned right in the back of my heel. That's where we want him. And I'll actually give him a treat right afterwards. Good boy. Jack, heel. Good boy. So I'll go again with him. Good boy. So we're setting him up for success. And this is really about perfect practice. Don't let him do a crooked one. If he did a crooked one and caught you off guard, just don't give him a treat.
Okay.
Or if you see he's going to do a real crooked one, before his butt even hits the ground, say heel again, take an extra step to straighten him out, and then put him into a nice straight sit. It sometimes helps to do the first one to him against the wall, because it eliminates the option of him being able to twist his body as much.
Okay.
So I'm going to go this way, and let's see. As I make my last step, sit. Sit. Good boy. There you go. Nice. Good spot. Good boy. Give him a treat.
Okay.
Jack, heel. Good boy. Next one I'll do more out in the open over here. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Such a good sport training. We got last step. Sit. Sit. Good boy. And just a little gentle. So you raise again, right there. Good boy. Some dogs, if they kind of are kind of being too crooked, some dogs will still go a little bit of crooked, and it's really hard just to do it like this. With those dogs, I'll take before I go to the halt, I'll like choke with my right hand and kind of, as I make the last step, also bend at my knees a little bit and just help him a little bit with my left hand, real gentle, just to keep him from scooping out.
Okay.
But he's sitting nice and parallel.
Okay.
It's a good boy. Now, once he's in, when you do halt, technically he's in a sit stay. So you can go back, you go on the end of the leash, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
So you either have to release him, or if you start moving again, you make sure you say his name and then heel again to go again. So if I start walking again, same thing. I would say, Jack, heel. Oh boy, I think you broke your sit.
Yeah.
Oh, we let you get away with that one. Oh boy. Ooh, good boy. Here's another one. Sit. Good boy. You are such a good boy. Good boy. You ready? You gonna work with mommy? You gonna work with mommy? Good boy.
Hi.
You got goodies?
Yep. Jack heel. Sit. Good boy.
Oh, look at that.
Boy.
Give him his goodie.
Boy. Jack heel. Sit. Good boy.
Good. Good. I try to say sit a little earlier as your foot's coming together.
Okay. Jack heel. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Jack heel. Slow him down. Sit. Good boy.
Very good. Look at that. Right behind your heel. That's where we want him aligned. That's perfect.
Boy.
That's it.
Jack heel.
Whoops.
Sit. Sit. Good boy. Now he seems a little far, like away. He should be closer to me though, right?
Yeah, get him
That's
the
him.
closer. Yeah, you don't want him once he gets like past like a foot length
Okay.
distance away from your left side, then he's a little too far out.
Okay.
Which is what you can do is before you make the halt, you know, you could make sure if you see him going off to the left, you could do a little side step over to the right to get him closer.
Okay. All right, Jack heel.
So yeah, the prerequisite before you do the halt is to make sure that he's in a good position.
Jack. Sit.
Good.
Oh, I said Jack. I shouldn't have said Jack.
Yeah, otherwise not bad. Just pause a little further up than we would like. You know, we'd want his toenails aligned right in the back of your heel.
Okay.
I also accept, I'd rather him be a little further back than behind your heel. Like,
Okay.
if he's like a foot length behind, even up to a foot length behind, oh, he fixed himself there almost. If they're up to like a foot length behind the back of your heel, I still think it's a good halt because
Okay.
they're still close enough for you to control them,
Okay.
and you have the clear leadership position.
Okay.
So just a little further back than where he is. So his
Okay.
toenails would be scraping the back of your left heel.
All right, Jack heel.
And generally, if he's in the right heel position, when you tell him sit as your foot's coming together, he'll naturally be in the right spot. Yeah, if he's there,
Sit.
good. Look at that.
Boy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good boy.
That's what I'm talking about, Jack. Good boy.
Boy.
Good boy.
Jack, heel.
That's where he'll need to be when we go to support group classes and you're like shaking people's hands and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It keeps him out of trouble. Let's,
Sit.
boy, good boy, Jack. All right. Good. Now, so you mix everything together. So throwing right about turns, left about turns. Use the whole room. Just do it at your own pace. You don't have to. And if you do one every 2 laps, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just think about it and throw them in as you want. Be sure to give him, be sure to give him treats on all the halts still
Okay.
right now since he's learning. And even after, if you do like a left about turn, it's a little tricky for him. You could free him up right afterwards.
Okay.
Give him a treat.
All right, sounds
Just
good.
mix
Jack,
it up.
heel.
Oh, good boy.
Good boy.
Wow, look at that.
Good boy. Jack, sit. Oh, I just said Jack. Sit.
Okay.
Good boy. I'm so used to saying your name when you say that. Jack, heel. Heel. Oh, see, that was good. I didn't say it right away.
Yep, see?
You just sat there.
He knows the rules better than you.
I know. That's it. I keep saying Jack. Oh my gosh, I'm screwing up, dog. Sit. Sit.
No, okay.
Good boy. Get all confused. Jack heel. Good boy.
Now, just for practice purposes, I'm going to show you what the next step is, but don't really practice this at home until you see when you're halted and you're saying sit and you're giving those automatic light corrections
Okay.
that you barely even need him, that he's really kind of doing it on his own. The next step would be, as you come to a halt, as your left foot comes together with the right, just say sit but don't correct him.
Okay.
And then if he doesn't sit on his own, then just say no, sit, like a regular sit.
Okay.
But what's more common on the second step of this is if you just halt and you say sit, sometimes they have time to kind of shift their body
Okay.
and go sideways or something. If they go sideways
Sit.
and their body's unparalleled, then just take an extra step.
Sit.
You would say heel, take an extra step, and then put them in the sit, like we do in step
Okay.
one.
Do it. Okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't get a chance to do a crooked one.
Okay. Jack heel.
Good. So this time when you stop, just say sit and don't correct them when you're ready.
Sit.
Oh,
Good
good boy,
boy.
Jack.
What a good boy.
You show off.
Good boy. That was good. That was good. Jack heel. Jack heel. Heel. He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it anymore.
I think he's getting a little shot from all the new exercises. He gets.
Do one more. Sit.
Good
boy.
Look
Okay,
at
free
that.
now. Okay, free. Free. Are you looking for another one? I'll give you another one. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. You're working so hard, huh? You working hard? Yeah?
Good.
It's tough, huh?
Good. Mix some more up.
Okay, Jack heel. Sit. Good boy. You little back, above head, but. Jack heel.
Oh, good boy.
Good boy. Sit. Good boy.
Good.
Good boy. Good boy. Jack heel. Heel. Good boy. Good boy. Boy. Sit.
Oh, heel. So if you say
I should have then.
yeah, if you
another
say
step.
sit and he wanders like off course, like kind of a
Okay.
crooked or forward, then just right away say heel.
Heel.
Take an
Take
extra
it up.
step,
Okay.
and then just sit like we do in the first step of it.
Okay.
Good. So go again.
Heel. Heel. Jack. Heel.
Good.
Mommy's messing up on the rules. Sit.
Oh,
Good boy.
Good
That was a good
boy.
one. That was a good one. Jack heel. Good boy. Good boy. Sit. Good boy.
good boy, Jack. Good. All right, give him a treat.
Three.
Free him up. We'll end him on a good note with these before he
Okay.
gets too burnt out.
Okay.
He's doing so good. So, Jack, you're a very good boy. Ooh, that good boy.
Jack. Go see Mike.
Go, come over
Go
here.
see Mike.
Come
Go see
over
him.
here. You want to do playtime now? You do some playtime now, you handsome boy? You handsome boy? Yes, you.